Okay. Hello, NLK. Good to see you here in chat. Gonna wait for a couple more people to join here. There comes some people. Hello, hello, hello. All right. We're gonna play through some more contest levels. Hello, hello. Now, like I did last stream, we're gonna play a older level and then a newer level. So we're gonna start with the older one. And by older, this is like entry 98. We don't have a whole lot of older ones left to play, but let's start with entry 98 here. I can't stream for too long, but I'm going to try to stream as long as I can. Let's see, final base. Does that have a color needed? Nope. All right. I'm going to try to be a little bit more positive on this stream. I feel like I was getting a little bit negative on the last one, but here's Final Base by Hawakna. Interesting username. Sorry, I haven't streamed in a while. I have been very busy with teaching. Alright. The basic 1.0 with some cool pulse circles there. Like how this gameplay syncs to the music. Yeah, those background pulses really kind of help sell the music. Yeah, this syncs pretty well. And the gameplay's not too bad either. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I definitely think there could have been a little bit more design variation, but that is okay. I think with what it wanted to do, it did it pretty well. I do like this part. I think that works really nicely. Makes the rocket feel tight, but not too tight. Right. Hey, that's a cool letter design. I haven't seen that very often. Hey, good night to Milton. Good to see you in the stream for a little bit. Yeah, pretty fun level for sure. I think the designs probably could have used a little bit more flair to them, but they definitely had a pretty decent decoration outside of the designs for what they were going for. So yeah, pretty fun. Maybe try to get that to 10 likes if possible. It's currently at 8. All right, let me mark that off my list and we will play the next one. It's going to be a newer level. So the newest level that I have not played on stream yet. Let's take a look. Aha! Passed by NTB896. Oh yeah, this is a memory level in 1.0. I will say, I prefer... The beginning is probably my least favorite part of this level. This level does a really good job with its memory overall. I especially prefer the latter parts with it. But even in this beginning, like, the pulse sticks kind of show you where to jump, which is really helpful. See the pulse stick right next to that portal, which tells me I need to jump. And it's small subtleties like that that really helps make a level a lot more accessible, which I appreciate. Even so, this beginning is a little tricky. As you can see, a really interesting memory gameplay. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Gotta do that. I'm not going for that coin. That coin's hard. There we go. And we got this section. It's like you have to flip between the corridors. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of memory, but I did enjoy this memory gameplay. I feel like it was very well done. Here's where the level becomes really fun. I love how flowy this gameplay is. In this part, the memory's not too bad either. Oop, and then I need to actually go up here. So this part actually looks pretty similar to NTP's GigaCod part as well. So these designs are pretty cool. I'm trying to remember which way do I go. Do I go down or up here? Try down. Oh, that seemed to be right. Hang on. We're gonna go down. Yeah, this part is like very O inspired. If you ever seen Catgirl Blitz's level O. But it's still very like memory heavy. There's only one route that works here. Then you gotta... There we go. Yeah, I think things could have been a little bit more clear in that section. But this part's fun. I love the like vines spreading. That's such a cool feature. Yeah, this level is pretty fire. I might still use the streaming channel if I wanted to show off like GJJ level progress, or I wanted to show off, say, I'm making the Winners collab. I might show that off as I'm building it. So I'm still going to use that channel later, but for now I'm just kind of using YouTube. Anyway, yeah, really cool memory level. I'm unfortunately not a huge fan of memory to begin with, but I understand it has a place, and I think this one does a good job with what it needed to do. So, all right, I really wish GD had a resolution for my screen because I keep tapping outside of it, and it's really annoying. Hello, Arrow GD OG. Good to see you in the stream. Let's play another old level. In fact, this old level is rated Hiding in My Room by Endolake. Endolake is in chat, so this level is really, really cool. I feel like this one does a good job of showing what 1.0 can, just the unlimited possibilities of the update. I need to change to light orange. I think that orange works. Okay, take a look at this. This is meant to represent a dreamscape. Very like pretty bridge designs, but the bridge is going up and down, which I think is really cool. And I was told that all of these different pixel arts represent like different elements of a dream or a nightmare. The ones that are more faded are nightmares. The ones that are more light are the dreams, which is really, really interesting. This part has clocks and pretty cool design. So this is actually, this part right here is a fairground. So that's the roller coaster. We went on the Ferris wheel. Here's the carousel and a fountain with a game tent. And then we're finally back in the in our room, like we're waking up from the dreams. So this is the closet area, and that's it. Very neat level. It's also really easy. Works really well with Star Count as well. But I love Analog K's surreality, where he just makes things, he feels so surreal, but not out of place. And this is a great example of that. Yeah. An excellent level. I very much enjoyed playing through that. Alright, let's go play a newer level. Aha! It's right here! Ahead by GD New Hippo. I think I just recently graded this one too. So, yeah. Let's take a look. Does this have a color specification? I do not remember. Let me check that. Dark blue. That's for dark enough, I guess. Oh yeah, this one's got some really cool stuff in it. So it starts off as a really basic 1.0 level, but with really good sync and gameplay. Alright, things are getting a little bit more complicated. Those arrows look really cool with this dark blue. We're slowly starting to add some trees and stuff. Or maybe move that orb a little bit, but... Alright, buildings. And this whole level apparently talks about someone trying to end their life off a building and recalling nostalgia, which makes him decide not to kill himself. So it's a really heavy level. We just saw the person on the building back here. So they're thinking about all this stuff, and that might be why it starts simple, is because it's the nostalgia from their past. Would have maybe made that plaque a little sooner. Yeah. This is the only part I don't really like about the level. I feel like there could have been like added some ground spikes to add some fade to the bottom of these blocks. Because right now they just kind of look a little blockish. This is really cool though. We start getting some arts. And it says go ahead. Get a little bit of a trill. Ooh. Tornware just turned in their part for the Giga collab. That's exciting. Left in the lines too, which is awesome. Thank you, Tornware. I don't know if you're in the stream, but thank you so much. This design is really cool. It's a little bit of a shame that black has to hang off, but that's 1.0 for you, so. But those hands are really... This design in the pillar that's incredible. I haven't seen something designed like that, and it's really neat. Got a bunch of words and a loading. This I would consider the climax of the level, or we can kind of see all of these memorable images rushing past us. It's kind of similar to the Hiding in My Room, how we had all those memorable images representing different dreams, but this is like more of a rush of nostalgia, I think is what it's supposed to be representing, which explains the whole, the pads on the around side, kind of showing off Trying to show off the speed, I guess. Then the hands reaching out, trying to grab that nostalgia. There's a little bit of a message here at the end. Life can be annoying at times. We often be demotivated by others' works and compare with ours, but we shouldn't give up. Focus on your works, and please go ahead. That's so beautiful. Quote from Teddy Roosevelt there. And they have an idea with a deeper story, so there's a lot of powerful stuff back here. So, very powerful level with a huge message. Once again, the only part I had problem with was that one part in the middle. Other than that, it's a fantastic level that does a great job with representing what it's supposed to. Oh boy, a little bit of a hater there. Yeah, very enjoyable level. Is there going to be a new contest? I likely know this contest has taken a whole lot of time and energy to put together, as well as get grading. There's still a whole lot of stuff I got to do as the judges are currently finishing up the grading, so I'll have to see in the future. If I do something, it's going to be on a lot smaller of a scale, a lot narrower of a contest for sure, because this was a whole lot of work. Okay, we're going to play one of the older entries now that I haven't played on stream. Yeah. This one is cool. Space Pirates. I don't believe I played this one on stream. If we did, I apologize, but we're going to play through it again. This one has some really cool designs. I really like how it actually starts at a beach, and then you eventually get into the space sections, which I think is a really cool progression to tie in the pirate feel. These palm trees are also pretty great. I always choose green on this level. Don't jump into that portal. Lesson learned. Alright, there's our pirate ships. They remind me of the ships I built on Minecraft. And we got those meteors kind of showing that we're in space now. Yeah, this part has some really cool, like, Sky Island designs with the vines hanging off of them. Reminds me of, like, metallic discs that have once held life, you know? I haven't seen many people do this type of block design before. It's very simple, but it's a very effective design. Like, this works so well with the stars in the background. Alright, it's got some weird fork thing. I think those might be representing, like, alien plants, but that's just my interpretation. And that's the end of the level. There's your custom logo. Custom logos were allowed for the contest. Don't worry, they didn't lose any points for that. That was an allowed feature, so yeah. Really, really cool level. And I really like how the LDM erased the flashes, which I always support. Yeah. An excellent work. Gameplay I also found quite fun on that one. It's a very fun, insane to play. Alright, let's play a newer level now. Bounce and Jump by Bogglepop. Oh boy. I remember this level uses The Fridge Cat by Waterflame. If you haven't heard it, this was a song from 2009. Waterflame re-uploaded recently. It is a odd song, so. Like how the gameplay is going in different heights, which is really cool. Yeah, that's the coin route. Lots of variation between Cube and Rocket. That's pretty cool. Although that was a really hard rocket fly right there. Yeah. The block design is pretty simple. I feel like they maybe could have done a little bit more with that. This song is so weird. Yeah, and then this part, it's just you condense further and further down. Which, pretty cool. I just don't know if it worked entirely well with the rest of the level, but really cool gameplay. Love the use of the song. I love the Fridge Cat. It was one of my favorite Waterfront songs back when I went to high school. It's been around for a while. Maybe even middle school, actually. Yeah, let's bounce and jump by Bogglepuff. Maybe give that one some support. It's almost at 10 likes. All right, let's find another old level, kind of flying through these, seeing if we can get all of these levels played through before the judging stops. All right, next one we're playing is Flow by GD10. Now, I really like this level because it is a great intro demon. So I think it's a great, like, easy demon. And I think it's quite well designed for what it meant to be. Yeah, there's a little bit of jank, but it's pretty avoidable. Like, it's satisfying to play and pull off. You can definitely feel like the flow as you play it. And I think the designs, they're very simple, but I think they do a good job about what the level was going for. Kind of like this Cycles era feeling level, while still feeling modern enough. I mean, if you've ever seen recent Cody builds, for instance, it feels very much like how Cody builds recently when he's building 1.0 stuff. Which I think is a great job done. Yeah, that's the most wonky part in the gameplay right there. That does take a few practice runs to pull off. Of course, I've already beaten this level. Oh, wait, yeah, there's also this. I forgot about this. This is a memory section. Like how old levels would always have one. It's not too bad. And you can also see the glow edges, so it's pretty easy to practice. Bye, Kiltsy. Thank you for attending the stream. But yeah, I really like this level. I think the gameplay does a great job at being kind of accurate to the time period that it was representing. So, you don't want to try if you have not. It was a great experience trying to beat that. So, very positive playing experience for me. That was also entry 104 into the contest. Really cool. Hey, serious. We're playing through some more CC levels just to show off what has been entered. Okay. Anesthesia by Torparna. So, I don't know. We might have played the original level already. Let me double check. Yeah, we have. So a while back we played Synolysis by the same guy. This is the sequel to that. So it's the exact same style and gameplay style. Now, let's look at what was requested for. It's requested for 9 stars, and one thing this level isn't is 9 stars. Is Misty in chat? Oh, hey, Misty. We're playing through some more CC levels. Let's take a look at Anesthesia. I think you're going to notice that it's a little bit trickier than a 9-star right off the bat. Yeah, and that's one of my... There's something with this gameplay that's not consistent. I think it might be a frame alignment problem, but that jump, passing it, is seemingly random. And I don't understand why. This happened also in Synolysis. There's just jumps that feel like they're just a little bit too random. So I'm not sure what causes that in particular. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty difficult. I think the designs look pretty interesting, but they stay the same throughout the most of the level, which... Why am I dying there? There we go. Which I guess works with the level's theme, so... I will say Signalis had the player color chains throughout it, though, so it felt a little bit more colorful than this. And maybe that's the purpose. Maybe this is supposed to be like the harder brother of it. These jumps are not fun, in my opinion. They're a little bit too frame perfect-y. Which is fine if you're going for, like, hard Insane Demon, but this was apparently supposed to be a 9-star. So, like, this is the hardest attempted 9-star in the contest, I think. Yeah, we get more of these pseudo frame perfects. The nice thing about these levels is they're also medium, so it's not too much of this. Oh boy. It's gonna be me dying to the same spikes for a while. Yeah, then there's one of those like frame alignment spike things. I'm not sure why. It kills me. I just want to know why the person who thought this was a 9-star. This is so hard. Yeah. I wish that this didn't happen. Like, if this was moved up and 2 increments, it'd be a whole lot better. Straight fly, which apparently I'm a god at. Oh, we're almost there. I'm pretty sure this hill is one of the last things in this level. There it is. Anesthesia. Woo, that's an experience. Yeah, there is a lot of levels I would love to see rated. Yeah, not even a medium demon. Those timings are like hard Insane Demon. Like, I feel like that is around the difficulty of Through the Decay by Spark, if it didn't have like the wave and UFO sections. Like, the Q parts in that are about that difficulty. So I would call that an insane. But, Insane Demon. But yeah. Cool style. I do think the gameplay, if it was spaced out more, could have been a whole lot more enjoyable. Alright, let me mark that one down as played. Alright, next one we have is Cold Snap by IEL3. I don't know if I might have played this one on stream actually, but we're going to play it again. This one has some really cool ideas. And the gameplay is pretty phenomenal. Yeah, love the 3D stuff in this. The 3D looks really cool. Some good sync there in the gameplay. I do think there could be maybe a little bit more designs, like sprinkled in. So just to break up some of the consistency, but I mean, just look at, like, this looks so cool. And it's also, like, pretty simple, too, with how they did it. Not a whole lot of objects. Yeah. This part, you actually have to jump over these portals. That's a little unclear to do that. All right. Here we get some new designs, which I really love. And this is a great time to, like, a great spot on the song to introduce new designs. A little sus among us, too. Cold snap. We end things off with some spike circles and a rocket part, which I really like that. Very open, but also requires you to do some precision. So, yeah, if there were some pulse thingies for sure, this would have added a lot. So, very cool level, regardless. Though I think doing the 3D element, I think they did it pretty well. Stay pretty consistent. Would have maybe liked to see a couple more designs thrown in there, and some pulse sticks probably would have helped to give it the extra boost. But that was entry 108 into the contest, or around 108, give or take. But yeah, really cool stuff. Okay, now we get to a level that I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to beat on stream or play on stream. This is Mountain of Stars by Lao 1000. This, they said hard demon. I think it is an insane, or it's a really hard or on the insane border. Because there's a lot of blind jumps and fast inputs required in said blind jumps, which at this caliber isn't necessarily a problem, but this is quite tough. I'll just say that. And you gotta jump a little bit later to make it onto the other platform here. I mean, they're selling the mountain theme very well. It's just it's a really hard level. Yeah, like this timing is really hard to hit because you just barely touch that orb's hitbox when going up there. Might need to enter that differently, maybe. Okay, that did not work. No. There we go. No! That's such a hard timing to do. That's such a hard sequence of timings. Okay, this rocket part's lots easier on the timings. I do like the feeling of claustrophobic rocket parts. I like the claustrophobic feeling in GD. Really, and especially with the cave section, it really helps sell it. Yeah, something that's hitting the ceiling helps me align in those gaps. But yeah, it's like on that edge border if it's too hard for the contest or not. In fact, I think the hardest part actually might be the descent, and we'll see that a little bit later. There we go. I mean, the Game Boy syncs pretty good with the music. Now you'd think you'd have to go down, but what actually happens when you go down is it just kills you. You actually have to go up here to the star part. Now the stars are made of the dot hitboxes, so and there's also spikes everywhere. So the hitboxes are not very accurate. You have to be very much in the center of this. It's not too bad though once you kind of know your spacing. Okay, this part is pretty hard for me because it's a lot of fast reaction time. As you might tell, I'm not a fan of Pox Tower Descent because it does a lot of this fast reaction time on the way down. Oh, I'm doing a pretty good job though. Alright, then we end with a much easier cube timing part, which is quite a nice way to end it. Yeah, pretty insane. That gameplay is mental. It certainly feels like you're climbing a really hard mountain though. Like it's mental, but it works. Yeah, getting over it, exactly. It's like getting over it type gameplay. Yeah, very creative stuff. It really sells the mountain climbing thing insanely well. It's just really hard. And perhaps maybe potentially buggy because we have to clip into some blocks on the way up. So check that one out if you haven't yet. It's got some really cool stuff behind it. Let's check out an older entry now. All right, that's the next oldest. Honey Party. Okay, there's not a specific color requested, so we'll play with blue. This is an interesting level. I believe it has some really cool multi-route inside it, so you're gonna have to play this one for yourself to see it all. We got some really cool like bridge arts. This 3D effect looks really nice. Some nice polygons, and here's where the split route stuff starts to happen. So you'll have to play it on by yourself to check the other route down there. And there's another route there that you can check out. I love split paths. It really gives a lot of replayability to the level. Yeah, and since I took that as upside down, I'm on a completely separate route. And they all both meet up. This is really neat. I like the blue background, then they have like some spike designs in that. Looks really cool. Nice stuff. Yeah, it's a YouTube feature where it shows the person who's talking the most or something, or gives the most hype inside a chat, something like that. I don't know why. But yeah. Really cool split path level. You'll have to play it yourself to check out the other path. Highly recommend it. That's Honey Party by Cuz131. Used to be known as A Beginner, I think. Oh, it's the altar of A Beginner. So, yeah. Okay, let's see here. Another new one. Newer entry. V-Ship Cubed by X Toasty. The only level to request brown as a player color. This level is like a VSC if it was made in 1.0 and had an extension. So that is kind of the idea behind this. It tells you to use brown player color. And that text down there. Yeah, Yeah, and then they give some other colors if you don't have this brown, because it's pretty hard to get. Starting with a bit of a maze section here. And we are starting to enter the city. Really cool use of the brown as well. Got some cool designs in this transition. This monster's name is Jeremy. It's a cool exclamation point there. Ooh. Some pretty fun rocket gameplay here. Ish. I have to hold on that one, I forgot. Yeah, I wish there was more indication about holding there. And then here, this is a recreation of VSC. So they copied VSC and then traced it with 1.0 objects and then put it in. They added a rocket. There were some spikes, added a rocket and cube inside it to make it possible in 1.0. Which is a really neat. So this is VSC. Yeah, Xfluffy did a nice job with that. Very cool stuff. I really like that somebody used brown. And the level has pretty fun gameplay. It's a little bit consistency based, so you do need to give it a practice run or two. But otherwise, it plays pretty nicely after you kind of know the gameplay. All right. Once again, very happy someone used brown. That's such a rare color to see. Right, the next one. Ace Defiant by Maze. We're gonna use blue. I don't think there's a requirement for this. Oh, there is. It's yellow. I am by mistake. All right, let's check this one out. Ooh, very frenetic gameplay here. I think I messed up the orb chain there. Yeah, I just gotta tap in all those portals. Yeah, some really cool backgrounds and arts here. I think I gotta do that. Yeah, and then we gotta tap that. Not a fan of those, how blind that is, but that's alright. Space station part. It's got some really cool backgrounds in this level. Gotta tap on that yellow box to see. Yeah, this part becomes a little hard to see where I need to go. I just got through there. Love the dual tone blocks. Don't fail. And now we're into a normal 1.0 section. Kind of represents the first couple levels. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. I'll reload, see if I can't get that live chat to... There we go. I'm just playing levels that are in the contest because I have a whole sheet for that. I don't have a sheet with those levels that didn't make it into the contest because it's kind of impossible to know all of those. But I'm at some other point I might take requests. I don't know if I can tonight because I don't have that much time. Oh, you're welcome, Potato. Yeah, this contest has been a dream of mine, or hosting a contest of this caliber has been a dream of mine, and y'all have really delivered on that. All right. One of the newer levels, the Ultimate 1.0. So, New Prince GD actually entered the contest 4 times. He entered all 4 levels at the same time. So, this is the 3rd of his 4 levels. We already played Stereo Circles and Bloodbust. But this is the 3rd one. This is a remake of the Ultimate Phase in 1.0. And New Prince GD has a very, very simple 1.0 style. So you're going to see a very simple version of this. But you can kind of see the resemblance to the parts that he's trying to represent, which is really cool. So this is Creepsicle's part. I couldn't read that name. This must be a ball section, maybe. Giron, yeah, Giron's ball. The Grixek. I don't know how to say that name. Zorbo's part. So as you can see, it's like a really, really easy version of the Ultimate Phase, made in like a very basic one of those styles. So this would be kind of like something you'd see from the time period. Lugia. We got Cyclic part. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, so there's some cool stuff there. I will play it in a different stream, Potato. And Monstrosity also play it in a different stream. Tonight, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to do requests because I have to teach pretty early tomorrow. Yeah. So that's Ultimate 1.0 by New Prince. Let's play another older entry. Lava Layer by Gabriel Mariel. I think I want to use that orange. Is that correct? I don't think it matters which orange. We'll use this orange. All right. So this one has a very rough cave style, but it's also got some like really cool arts inside it. So you can just kind of see the frenetic atmosphere that this is giving off immediately. Lava's dripping down everywhere. The whole cave is like in a very rough shape. Got lower towards the lava zone. I don't like that blind jump, but that's alright. That's just one that you can remember. Pretty sure that portal was also resized, which is not great. But this part's really cool. So stuff's gonna leap out of the shadows at you, and you gotta avoid it. Because that's such a cool idea. Go up. Go up here, because at the dead end. Really helps kind of sell the, frantically trying to get out of the lava cave. And the dangers that it has. No, I got trapped. Gotta take up, and I think you gotta go down here. Yeah. I do think some of the corridors could have been a little bit more wide. Because as it stands right now, it's a little tight. Where do I go? Oh, I don't know what happened. Gotta grab here, then you gotta grab that portal to do this. There we go. Yeah, very confusing ending there. We're out! And here's some trees. There's fire on the ground next to them. We're trying to get away from the volcano here. Ooh, that doesn't work very well as a jump. Ooh. Why is that not letting me? Huh. That might be a frame alignment problem. Oh, maybe not. That's odd. Not sure what's causing that. Anyway, yeah, we escaped it. It is indeed a fire scarf. Quite enjoy that. I teach pretty much everything. I am a substitute teacher in my life right now. I want to be a full-time teacher at some point, but I sub pretty much anything. Tomorrow I am subbing high school orchestra and middle school orchestra. High school in the morning, middle school in the afternoon, which means I have to go to 2 different schools, and it's a bit of a mess. It's like a half hour away from where I live, so it's going to be quite a hectic time getting back home. But, yeah. I get to look forward to that tomorrow. Alright, let's play another newer level. And we're going to be here for a while. So, this is a unlisted level, and it is part of what I call the 4 horsemen of the contest. Those 4 horsemen of the contest are levels that are 8 minutes or longer. This is one of those. This level is 12 minutes in length, not to the editor's end, but 12 minutes in length. This was New Prince's first entry. They couldn't beat it because it was too long. So as with usual, New Prince is going to be on a very simple style, but we're going to pass through a whole lot of different themes, a whole lot of different areas. Like the other 3 long levels I've already played on stream, this is the 4th one. Actually, it was the first one, but it's the 4th one I'm playing on stream now, so let's have a crack at it. So we start kind of like a garden-y area is my interpretation of this. These are plants. That's a broken road. Oh, I think those are supposed to be cars that we're leaping through. Road's End. So we're leaving the road now. Big zoo. All right, so do we want to take the top route or the bottom route? Top route is animals, bottom route is plants. How much longer do your students know you're a GD creator? Thinking it's going to be never. I don't talk about what I enjoy with my students because that is unprofessional. Top or bottom routes? Check chat. Let me see. No one said anything yet. Top. Okay, we're taking top. We're going to go see the animals. So there's an animal up there in the cage. I think these are all supposed to be cages. We're going to keep going up. See if we can find more animals here. Doesn't look like it. Oh, maybe that's an animal. Exit. Yay, we left the zoo. City. There's that car again. And here's our buildings. Cool smokestack. Right, more buildings in the city. I think this is a crane, it looks like, right? Can't really tell. All right, we're exiting the city now. Mountain. Let's climb the mountain, shall we? There is a cave route, it looked like. We're going to do the mountain route. Just keep going up and higher and higher. Ooh, don't like that transition. That's a little rough. Not quite sure where we are now, but maybe it's inside the mountain. That's like some frozen bones. That's one thing I do wish this level had is more sync to the song. Kind of feels like the song was thrown on later. Because there should have been like a background pulse there. That was a really big hit in the song. Here's a beach. The first one that beach to my knowledge. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Here's a heaven. Got like a bunch of crosses, some wind. "3D? This is an interesting way to do the 3D concept. My 3D land goes on for quite a bit of time here. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about right now, so the song is really, really pretty. Yeah, it's a great song, like Akola always writes. Chainland. Yeah, now we're starting to get some cool designs with our chains. I did like how the sign faded away from 3D as we went into Chainland. That was a really nice touch. And we're in space now. Got some stars here. Yeah. My favorite Coca-Cola song is Lit Fuse. I love the 5/4 nature of it. But Death and this are both really good songs. Yeah, I think we're still in the space section, so... Alright, we're in hell now. This is halfway through. You can see like the fire connecting all across these blocks. These like people demon things that I just tapped on. We're moving into the jungle. Yeah, we can see the vines and the other stuff they're trying to do. Like this is swinging on the vines. Snow! Yeah, very simple representation of snow, but you can still kind of see it, which is awesome. And then we enter the weird dimension. Got more of those like wind gust things. Just some weird structuring and all of that. Go down here. So these are particles. They look really nice. On the top and bottom there. Then we enter the factory section. This is probably my favorite section of the level. I really like the way the boxes and the smokestacks look. And the pipes that they made. I think this is also the best decorated section of the level. This is also a crate design I've never considered, which is really cool. I've done quite a few crates already. Error. Ooh. Rebooting. We're kind of seeing some stuff from, I think, various different parts of the collab, or parts of the level, not collab. We're at 30. 40. Trying to fill back up that computer. 50. 60. Looks like our background kicked in. We're starting to see some other stuff here. 70. 80. Background change. 90. And we're back online. Don't die. This part looks pretty cool. Not sure what it's representing. They put in the wrong chain here. I don't remember if I took off points for that or not, but thought I'd point that out. Backwards pad hop, that's always fun. Then here's the final stage. Final stretch. My bad. Just gotta get through this. The end. Thanks for playing. Goodbye. The end again. And there it is, the full level. That's the entire level. Nueva Plantacion. What a long level that is. Definitely on the simpler side. Props to them for making it that long, though. Quite the journey, for sure. See, we lost a few people in that long process, but yeah. Like I said, that's the last of the long ones, so we do not have any stupidly long levels left to play on stream, so. Alright, let's play another one of the older ones. Semantic Shift by The Trophy. Okay, I don't believe there's a color requirement. I'm going to double check that. Gray or white? I stand corrected. We'll do that gray then. Yeah, that level was really long. I had to grade that one the other day. Oh yeah, this one has the really cool cubes. Yeah, really fun gameplay on this one. It has some cool enter effects on either side. Oh yeah, this section. This section is a little bit blind, but you have to step on these. Hold through this, and then you have to not hold through that, which is a little weird. Well, that's a really cool background. Really cool spirals here too. Yeah, pretty fun level. This was a collab as well, which always love seeing the collabs. Hello, Veef Gaming. I think what it is, it's several enter effects put together, sodium hydroxide. So there's like maybe there's like 4 of them playing through all together or something. Scarf, I have judged your level already. Yeah, I only have 11 levels left to judge, and in those 11 levels, I have 2 editor length levels and an 8-minute level. So I'm not looking forward to that. But I'm very close to getting done. All right, that was Semantic Shift. Really cool enter effects on that one. All right, this one is highlighted as disqualified. I think I remember this one. Hold on. Was this disqualified for? Yeah. Unfortunate. Look how long this is. 37 seconds. Too short for the contest. Let's take a look at it anyway. See what they did. Town you grew up and now it's ruined and desolate. When you see the old park you used to play and you shall replicate the fun you had, but the truth remains, it is all gone. So a bit of a heavy meeting on this one. Some tricky orb timings, it looks like. They did a good job getting the ruined feeling, though. I can definitely feel the just ruined town vibes from this. We get some trees here. Can I take that? No, I can't. Got some stars in the sky. And that's all there is. So, hey, Turkey Burger. So, pretty unfortunate. It's a really cool level. It's just too short for the contest. I really hate when I have to disqualify stuff like this, but like, you have to make it at least medium in length. Or sorry, you have to make it at least 45 seconds in length, and this was just not long enough. But check it out if you got the time. That would be a good one to support, especially since it's not going to get a contest support, unfortunately. Alright, let's play another older level. I have like 15 more minutes to play stuff before I have to start getting ready for bed. For my early teaching day tomorrow. Limbo by Rotocrosite. So, this one might have a color specification. Let me check that. Nope, it does not. Something to note, this is not a remake of Limbo. It is their own individual level. So let's take a look. Some really cool designs so far. That's a really hard jump though. Yeah, that's not easy at all. Yeah, some really cool designs here. Some ramp gameplay there. Not a huge fan of this part. Looks a little bit spammy, but... Oh yeah, this is the level that kind of just loses its quality halfway through. I believe it comes back a little bit later. Good sync in that section. Oh, yep, CC. Oh, it never does. Alright. I believe we have seen a turkey burger. Yeah. One of the earlier ones I played. Yeah. Did not like the quality drop off. Like, that beginning was really strong, and then it just kind of just met out. Splattered out, maybe. But, yeah, still really cool stuff. Yeah. Only at 5 likes, maybe. The other ones with support. Roto Cross, I think, entered 2 or 3 times to this. That was one of their first entries. I think. Yeah, and then their next entry was Stationary a little bit later. Yeah, I played Crystallized, I believe. Yeah, we already played Crystallized. Really love the beginning on Crystallized. Not so much a fan of the ending, but that beginning was really solid in your level. Alright, 1 Point Stars by Sunrise. So this one is interesting. In the way that it does its progression. Now, they actually violated the height limit. They don't have a height limit on this level. Because part of this is you are continuously going higher and higher and higher until you're in the stars. And they don't actually ever change the background because the background will naturally shift to black the higher you go. It's actually a really cool thing. If it wasn't dog water, that sinks very well, but really like the designs in the sink in the beginning. As you can see, we're going higher and higher, and the background's just naturally getting darker. It's like we're actually going into space. There might be a little bit of a fade going on in there. Yeah, but the designs are solid throughout this. Yeah, there's definitely a background fade. Now I'm thinking about it. I lied. Cool, Pat Designs. Tornware would be proud about this. Now, these are really cool designs. I really like the way they did this. I'm actually doing something similar in a section of GJJ Level 6. So, be on the lookout for that when I get that in a position of being finished. We are fully in space now. We got some really interesting debris. Swirly debris, which is really, really cool. Yeah. Like I said, really cool stuff with the progression as it continuously goes higher. The only biggest problem I have with this is that it goes way past the height limit. So, not technically true to the 1.0, but that's less of a point in hand. Hello, Bootletcher Beauty. Good to see you here today. Yeah. Nice stuff. The designs in that are really, really, really cool. So... yeah, that was entry 281. Alright, let's play another older entry. This is entry 172. Have I already played this one on stream? I'm Backgrounds. I may have played this on stream already. We're going to play it again because it's an awesome level, so... This does some stuff I've never seen in any of the other entries, like this in the bottom here. They're one of the first people to do this with the gravity portals. So these are a bunch of gravity portals stacked on top of each other, rotated 45 degrees. Creates a really cool looking block. Some really nice designs, as well as some really fun gameplay so far. Cool backgrounds. Love how they made like everything just custom here. I will say this design doesn't work really well with every color, but this part is really cool. You're switching between like two polarities, and they managed to do it in 1.0, which is just awesome. Got a bit of a UFO section here. Normally people use cube, they use the rocket, which is really interesting. This design's really pretty, in my opinion. I think that works really well. We're slowly rising higher and higher. A bit of a sunset part here. Yeah, and then here's the part that a lot of people always point out. Very multicolored, something you don't normally see. Well, we got portals being used as decoration into the blocks, as well as the structuring holding up the top blocks up. And if I was using a different color than blue, we'd also have that as a color. We got white, yellow, blue all inside the block designs. That's also a really cool way to put something over your blocks. Yeah. This level is it's fascinating. It kind of opened the door or opened the window to a lot of what you could do with the portals in reference to 1.0. And a lot of people, I noticed in the Giga Collab, a lot of people started using portals in this way in their Giga Collab parts because it looks really, really cool. And it's something you don't see a whole lot inside even the Neo update levels. They don't do that too often. And I think that is just really, really cool. All right, let's take a look at one of our newer entries. Number 1337. So I think this was sent by Gigs somewhat recently, about a week ago. So let's take a look at it. Yeah, it's in one of the simpler 1.0 styles, but I think it uses it very well. Oh, and the gameplay in this is phenomenal. That's some really cool design there. A little bit of memory here. Not too bad. Some really cool spike circles. Yeah, even though the designs itself are simple, there's the gameplay on the designs outside really kind of help make it fit. I think it's really nice. A triple route there. You have to try the other routes on your own. I like the use of blackout section there to match the music. This rocket part is so pretty. I'm going to see more of that, honestly. That's a beautiful rocket section. Ooh, I took the coin route. Yeah, really fun level. Really fun level. Definitely a little bit simpler on the block end of things, but I think the decoration around it is really cool. And that rocket section is really pretty. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. All right, probably have time to play one more of each. Oh, I take that back. I get to show you a disqualified level. I actually might have shown you some of this. I might have already shown some of you y'all this. But it's not marked red, so I'm going to show you again. This was entered into my contest. I'm going to play 2 seconds of this, and you get to tell me what's wrong. What's wrong, chat? Gonna wait for the delay just because I want to see the reactions. You see what's wrong with the level? As you might have been able to tell, this was an instant disqualification. And I sent them a message saying, hey, that's not 1.0. That's not what this contest is about. So, yeah. If you haven't seen it, now you did. So, we're going to move on to a newer level. Actually, we'll play a different older level. That's not too very fair, because that is not a contest level. All right. 7 Vixio by Hayden Goblin. There used to be a star puzzle in here. They did erase that, so it did qualify for the contest. Let's take a look. I don't believe there was a color requirement. Let me double check that. Oh, no color requirement. Some pretty cool designs right off the bat. I do like how like menacing these structures look. Like having a lot of spikes that really kind of help sell that. Yeah, we got a cool, like, Sky Island here. Although the getting into it is a little tricky. Yeah, you gotta enter the lower part of that portal. And you gotta... Yeah, a little bit of tricky timings here. Alright, swoop up into the sky. And we meet some Eldritch Horror Beast. Really creative rocket section. Cool cue part. Now, fun fact about this level. So, where we just saw it end, it didn't used to end there. There used to be a whole section of nothing at the end. Because what they had accidentally done is they copy and pasted the rocket part way above the level over the space. It used to be like 1 minute and 8 seconds of just nothing. It used to be 1 minute and 8 seconds long, and there used to be like 20 seconds of nothing. They have since erased that, and it now plays like it's intended to, which is really cool. Love it when people actually update their stuff. So, yeah, that's Vixio. Got some really interesting designs in there. Let me highlight that green, and today's last level will be one of our newer ones. Outbreaker by Chain Chomp. So this got some really nice designs in it, if I remember right. Designs and gameplay are pretty solid on this. Start with some staircase stuff. Yeah, this part is a little unclear. So this is where the gameplay gets a little iffy, in my opinion. Because you gotta... Yeah. It's a little on the weird side. Ooh, I've never entered this part upside down, actually. Let's see how this works. Ooh, that was a coin route. Yo. I like this because it feels like the spikes are rotating towards you, which is really cool. Got a pretty colorful decorated cube UFO. Definitely one of the easier ends, which works really well for a UFO part. And then we have one with the rocket. I love when people use the rocket in that and make some innovative gameplay. And there it is. So, really nice level to wrap things up there. Really creative ideas and cool gameplay. I'm not taking requests today because I have to get to bed soon. But, yeah. That's all we're going to do for today. We are down to just a few more contest levels I've not played in front of y'all. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 35 levels I've not played on stream yet. So maybe 1 or 2 more streams and we can get all of those played through. Also, keep in mind, starting sometime next week, I'm going to start streaming verification of our Giga collab because the parts should be getting done hopefully by tomorrow. I should have every part. We'll see. But go ahead, have a great rest of your night or day, depending on where you live. I will see y'all later. So thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.